first step to installing a deuce is to determine if you need to use this weather seal. You'll use the weather seal when you have a bed cap on the side rails of the pickup, but no bulkhead protector. So at this point we'll install this seal. It'll be easier to install a seal standing inside the pickup. The next step is to install these two little seals right here, these little weather guard seals, and they will be placed in the front corner of the pickup on the bulkhead. Be sure to push the seal up against the side of the pickup when you apply it. The next step is to install the side rails. To do that, you'll need to shut the tailgate. Lay your side rail up to the side of the pickup rail and slightly compress the rear seal. Using a extra clamp, quick clamp, go ahead and fasten that to the rail. Now you can begin to put your clamps on. Place a clamp at the rear. Place a second clamp as close to the hinge as possible. Continue that on the other side. At this point you can drop the tailgate back down. The next step is to install the front underbody rails. And the rails are marked driver's side, passenger side. You'll need 2 clamps per side also. Place the weather seal side of the underbody rail up against the pickup truck side rail. The C-channel portion of the underbody rail will face to the inside of the bed, and also this edge of the underbody rail will fit flush against the front of the rail that you just installed. Use a quick clamp to keep that in place. Now you can install a clamp. Now you can install the passenger side. The next step is to install the cross member. To do that, you'll need to install these brackets on the ends with the square-headed bolt going into the slot. Then grab a square-headed screw, 2 of them required, and slide the square-headed bolt and slide it in to the underbody channel, both sides. You install the bracket onto the bolt that you inserted into the track. Now slide the 2 brackets so that it slides evenly toward the front of the pickup, and begin to tighten. You'll use a 1/2 inch socket, 3/8 ratchet. And do that on the other side. The next step is to rotate your front rails forward and lay your cover assembly on the back of the rails. Always to make sure that your lever is on the driver's side. After placing the cover assembly on the back of the rails of the pickup, you can now attach the front rails by rotating them backwards and attaching the rail at the two slot locations to the header with the 5/16 square-headed bolts supplied in the header. You'll attach them using washers and a nut. By moving the header toward the front of the pickup, you'll have the least amount of tension on the cover. Slightly tighten down your nuts onto the rail. Now it's time to rotate the cover assembly to the front of the pickup. This is where you could use the help of another person. Grab your hand underneath the cover and hold it tight and lift over your head and down onto the front of the bulkhead of the pickup. Now you can adjust your striker to your rotary latch. Bring your header down and your rotary latch down to the striker and lock it in place. Make sure that the striker has some movement. The next step is to align the front end so that it's even on both sides. After it's equally spaced, now is the time when you can tighten down your striker. Now it's time to tighten your crossmember brackets. The next step is to take a box end wrench and continue to tighten the nuts and the bolts that were on the header. Now we can unroll our cover to the rear of the pickup. I'm going to adjust the cover from side to side at the rear now. If the cover needs to be tighter, more tension on the cover, the way to do that is to open up your cover and loosen the two bolts on each side. After the bolts are loosened, take your hand and pull the header toward the rear of the pickup. While holding that pressure, retighten the bolts. And you'll want to do it on the other side. Now you can close your cover again. And release your lever to make sure that everything functions properly.